Well, winters are on the corner, and of course, we need to have something which is nice, healthy, and warming. I've shown you paya soup or paya shorba in the past. Today, I thought I'll show you mutton shorba. On that note, let's begin with mutton shorba. Well, this recipe is an absolute breezer. There is literally nothing that you have to do apart from just collecting all the ingredients. No fat, no oil, no ghee, nothing. We're banking on the natural fat that you get from good quality goat meat. So the first thing that goes in, I'm using a cooker. Of course, if you want to get into slow cooking, you can also use any other deep bowl or container. Pressure cooker. Now this is somewhere around 3.5 liters because I'm going to make somewhere around a liter and a half of stock. Of course, I've also left a little bit of space in this because we want it to kind of boil and bubble nicely all together. So first thing is the meat in the pressure cooker. The next are some red onions, just cutting them roughly. Let's add the diced red onions. Now, I personally like adding potatoes and carrots to something like this, but you can literally add in any vegetable, root vegetable for that matter. Avoid something like beetroot because that's going to unnecessarily color the soup. Unless you're looking at, of course, the nutrient value from the beetroot or the color from the beetroot, then that's a complete different story. But otherwise, if you're looking at a clean looking, literally colorless shorba, then avoid the beetroot. One vegetable that goes wonderfully well in a shorba is turnip. Now this is very peculiarly a Kashmiri flavor because they make something called shalgam gosh. If you're the ones who likes shalgam or turnip in meat, then add it, but otherwise carrot, potato, a little bit of beans, maybe green peas, but that's the max that you should go. Don't get into softer vegetables because they'll get extremely mushy. To this, I'm going to add in carrots. Now carrots again, roughly cut and cut into a little larger bite or larger chunks because you want all of this to cook along with the goat meat. Remember, because the goat meat is of a larger chunk, the vegetables have to be cut accordingly. Very, very important because by the time the goat meat gets cooked, everything will otherwise mush up and you're not looking at something like that in a shorba. Shorba has to be nice, clean, literally like a broth. The next ingredient, potatoes. You can use them with their skin or you can peel them. The choice is completely yours. The next is very, very, very simple. Just flavorings. The first flavoring is, of course, ginger and garlic paste. Now, by all means, you can also crush this, but ensure that you use it fresh, always. To this, I'm going to add in garam masala, green chilies for that power and punch. The next is to add in some whole spices. I'm adding in cinnamon, cloves, green cardamom. Along with that, peppercorns. Now, I'm not going to crush these. I'm going to add these whole because I like it when it plumps up. And finally, when you're having the shorba, you just kind of bite one or two. It just works wonderfully well. My mouth is already watering. Like a teaspoon, entire teaspoon. To this, I'm going to add in bay leaves. If you get fresh, nothing like it, but the dried ones also work wonderfully well. Salt. And finally, water which is at room temperature. Do not add in hot water because unnecessarily the fat will start melting and you do not want something like that. Let it gradually kind of melt, let it gradually get flavored. That's the way to go. One quick stir. On goes the lid. Finally, the whistle goes on and this gets cooked on low flame for 40 minutes. Well, in that time frame, in case 1 or 2 whistles blow up, that's absolutely perfect. But 40 minutes low flame and the meat will be absolutely tender. It's been 40 minutes and personally I feel the meat cooks wonderfully well in 40 minutes. With this, off goes the flame, and now is the time to let this settle for at least 15 minutes so that it kind of comes down to room temperature, and that's where you get the most amazing shorba. Time to serve the shorba. And last but not the least, freshly chopped coriander leaves.
Shorbe wara Murgh. Let's heat 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of ghee. The oil is hot. I have 15 cloves of garlic over here, which I'm going to saute till they are nice and golden in color. The garlic is fried to a beautiful golden color. Here I have 1 finely chopped onion which I'm going to add and saute this till it is slightly golden in color. The onions have also got slightly caramelized. I'm going to add an inch of ginger that I've finely chopped and fried for a few seconds. To this, we're going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 tablespoons of red chili powder, a tablespoon of coriander seed powder, a teaspoon of cumin seed powder, half a teaspoon of pepper powder, and just mix this well. Here I have a kilo of chicken, which I'm just going to add to this. And we're going to saute the chicken in this on a high flame for 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm going to reduce the flame to a low and slowly add 1 cup of whisked yogurt. And saute this till the oil separates. As you can see, the oil has separated. 5 green chilies that I have finely chopped. This is going to give a lovely zing to the shorba. I'm going to add an inch of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, about 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped coriander leaves. Mix this well. Time to add 2 liters of water to this. Some salt to taste. Give this a final stir. Cover this and cook it on a medium to low flame for almost 45 minutes till the chicken is done. The shorba was simmering for almost 45 minutes on a low flame and the chicken is done as well. Let's sprinkle a teaspoon of garam masala powder, some lemon juice, some freshly chopped coriander leaves, and the shorba is ready to be served. Let's remove this in a serving bowl. And our shorbe wala Murgh is ready to be served. As I said, it's a shorba, so you can just sip it like a soup or have rice or roti with this.
Yakhni Shorba. So let's get started. To begin with, first we switch on the gas, add ghee, let it heat up. Once the ghee starts heating up, I'm going to add 2 bay leaves, 2 dry red chilies. With that, I'm going to add cinnamon, green cardamom and black peppercorn. Cook it for at least a minute or 2. Once the whole spice starts crackling, I'm going to add sliced garlic, julienne ginger. Saute it for at least 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'm going to add sliced onion. At this stage, we're going to layer the chicken on top of the onion. And after layering the chicken, I'm going to add little turmeric, coriander powder. And after adding the masala, I'm going to put coriander and coriander roots together on top of the chicken. And with that, I'm going to pour some water on top of the chicken. And after pouring water into the pot, I'm going to let it boil for at least 30 minutes. Guys, 30 minutes are done. I'm going to switch off the gas, remove the lid, and transfer the stock through the strainer into a bowl. I have transferred the stock into a bowl and also I have deboned the chicken. Now I'll switch on the gas and transfer the stock back into the pot. As the stock starts simmering, I'm going to season it. First, garam masala, black pepper, cumin powder, fennel powder, and last, salt. Stir it nicely and let it simmer for at least few minutes. After letting it simmer for a while, I'm going to lower the heat. At this stage, I'll add the cream to it. So guys, our soup is ready. Now we'll start plating it. For that, I'm going to put the chicken which we had deboned earlier into a bowl. And I'm going to pour the soup on top of it. Finally, to garnish, I'm going to put one sliced boiled egg, then crushed black pepper, and last, freshly chopped coriander. And there you go guys, our warm, mellow Yakhni soup is now ready.
Hyderabadi Marag. It's a rich, flavorful soup made with mutton. Like I said earlier, Murgh is an extremely rich soup and very easy at that. First things first, oil in a deep pan. Well, you can begin this recipe in a pressure cooker directly, but there are some recipes that I personally prefer slow cooked. Let's add in sliced onions. If you've noticed, the oil is not hot at all because I also want to add in some whole spices. So onions first. Along with this, I'm adding in some bay leaves, cinnamon, some cloves, peppercorn, and another spice called tailed pepper. Well, this tailed pepper is very unique. It's literally like a pepper with a tail, and this in different parts or different regions is known by different names. Kebab chini, for example, Marathi moggo. These are two names that I'm aware of, so you can figure it out. Well, in case by any chance you cannot lay your hands on the tailed pepper, by all means you can increase the spices a little, or you can use a proprietary all-spice mix and use that. But when I give you these options, don't hold them against me. The onions have just begun to turn golden brown in color. At this stage, I'm going to lower the flame and add in mutton. Well, this one is a combination of mutton with bone and a little bit of boneless. Well, bones, of course, because you need that nice, rich, broth-like flavor, and boneless because people like you and I like to eat mutton while having a soup. Let's stir all of this, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to increase the flame and add in two very critical ingredients. The first one, of course, is paste of ginger and garlic. and along with this, salt as required. Well, salt, by all means, you can add in later. Because this is a broth, it's a soup, you may always want to add it a little later, considering the amount of quantity or volume increase. Let's stir this well. And once the meat just kind of begins to sear on the outside, we'll add in water. We give it one quick stir. Cover this and let it cook on low to medium flame for 40 to 45 minutes or till the meat is wonderful, soft and absolutely juicy. Well, alternately, like I said, you can also use a pressure cooker. Cook the meat till it's nice and tender. 4 to 5 whistles generally work, but again, you can take your own call. It's been 40 minutes, like I said, on medium to low flame. Let's increase the flame now and give it a quick more boils. Well, the meat would have cooked somewhere around 80% by now, and that's how we want it because this has to be further infused with a lot of more flavorings. Beginning with paste of cashew nuts and almonds. Well, this is going to make it nice and rich. It's also going to give it a little bit of thickening, which is required for this marag. Well, this flavor, this aroma of this soup is so reminiscent of my several visits to Hyderabad homes. I've definitely several friends in Hyderabad, and I've also been lucky enough to visit Hyderabad on several occasions. Now, whether it is visiting Golconda Fort or eating the several biryanis or the salans or even in the by-lanes of Charminar, well, this is something that I now miss doing. Anyway, let's give this a good mix, allow this to simmer, and while that's happening, I'm also going to add in some more flavorings, beginning with chopped mint, chopped coriander leaves, and last but not the least, some chilies. Now these at face value may look like a lot of chilies, but these are the non-spicy ones. So if you're lucky enough, use these. Otherwise, if you're using the spicier ones, just use 1 or 2 because you don't need this to be spicy. You just need that nice flavor of chilies. Stir this well, cover this, and on low flame, allow this to continue cooking till the meat is perfectly well done. You stir this well. At this stage, I'm going to add in some more water. You can keep checking for salt or check it later, just before serving. That's a completely personal choice. On low flame, cover this again and allow this to cook for another 20 minutes, or like I said, till the meat is perfectly cooked. With this, our Hyderabadi Murgh is done and ready. Let's have a quick check, and this straight goes on the dinner table. Well, this is smelling absolutely fantastic. Do not forget to check for salt before serving. Well, this IPL season, I personally am rooting for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. I think personally, he's going to be quite a game changer for Hyderabad.